Hi there, folks. This is episode 65 of the Mel Wright Real Estate Agent Show. I've got my great co-host joined us. Like to introduce yourself, Jason?
Yeah, hello. My name is Jason Bates. I'm right here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have a podcast as well called Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show. And you can check that out by visiting my webpage at www.valleyofthesunrealestateshow.com. And if you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, I certainly would love the opportunity to earn your business.
And I would highly recommend Jason. He's got a lot of experience and he'll treat you really fantastic. Right, so what we were discussing, Jason, is from our previous episode, which I thought was a great discussion, actually. It's a kind of follow-up about your website. Like I say, I thought we had a great discussion. We had a slight diversion of opinion, but I think that made it really interesting.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about content now. So would you like to start off the conversation? What are some of the key things that you think content-wise, a real estate agent, if they're going to go down the path of having a website, what should they be looking at, Jason?
Well, first, let's start off by saying that what you think may be good content may not be good content. So, and what I mean by that is listen to your audience, know who's going to be visiting your website, know the audience that you're trying to attract, and then try to create content around that audience. So I hear a lot of times from realtors that they want to put XY article out on their website. And if I'm a consumer, I'm looking at that saying that's very confusing because I really don't care about that. This is what I care about. And they want to hear more about what they want to know. So just keep that in mind when you're doing content. But I always tell realtors, kind of dumbify it down, bring it down a whole lot. When you're in the industry, remember, you kind of get immune to certain things that the general public has really no idea about. And I don't like to, I know a lot of realtors like to do a lot of statistics and things like that. Some of that stuff can be a little too much for a consumer. They want the nuts and bolts of what's happening. So don't get too technical if you're that type of realtor. Really bring it down to a kindergartner level and, color by numbers kind of thing. And I'm not trying to insult anybody's audience or anything like that. But if you think of it from that perspective, then I think you'll be off to a great start as far as content goes, because sometimes you can go way beyond where you need to go.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice, Jason. What I would say myself, and I'm looking forward to your reaction to this, is, is that a lot of agents think having properties on the website is the in-all and end-all of the website, and this is where I think they really go wrong, Jason. Is that but then I think having properties on the website and having those in a way that's searchable, really easy and searchable by users and also searchable by Google is important. But it's also important to have a lot of other information on the website that's linked to your profession, a real estate agent, or would be linked if you're a mortgage broker, about your local area. And just having a really nice looking website and just having search and have the latest properties that either you're handling or that are available in your local area is nice, but it's not the end all of what's required. Would you agree with some of those statements, Jason?
Yeah, it's kind of one of these necessary, I don't want to say evils, but it's kind of like you almost feel obligated to have some kind of search ability or search capability on your website. I don't necessarily think that should be the focal point. I think a website should become a resource. And the only way to become a resource, the properties are here today, gone tomorrow. And although you want to be ahead of the curve as far as Trulia or Zillow, one and the same, Redfin, and you want to have current accurate data for your clientele, you also want people to call you, right? The whole purpose of the website is to entice people to call you, and becoming a resource for an individual as to a go-to place to get information, maybe on handyman or, whatever the case may be that you're trying to promote. That's when you want people to call. If they get all the information on your website, there's really no need for them to call you. So you want to become a resource, a local expert, if you will. And if you think of your website as that, then I think more people would be intrigued to call you rather than just using your website for search engine for homes. So I think that probably is way down on the list as far as needing that. I think you do need it on there because you are a realtor and you sell homes for a living. But I don't think it's the priority of the website.
No, I totally agree. I'll give you an example. It's not directly linked to a website, but it's linked to one of our agents that Mel Wright is helping on Facebook paid advertisement. They're on our premier level, and we've run some successful campaigns over the past. They signed up with us about 3 months ago, and it's a local agent based in Carson City, which is near Reno, and a very experienced agent that handles about 45 to 50 properties a year. And we've just started a new campaign. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, folks, because I think it will give you a kind of insight about, you want them to sign up, and you want to build up your database by people coming to your website. But you're going to have to offer them some inducement to sign up. And it's the same with our Facebook campaign. This campaign that we've just organised for this agent is seller focused. He wants to get some quality seller leads. So we're doing a Facebook paid campaign, and it goes to a landing page that we've developed. And on that landing page, we are providing 12 tips for getting $6,000 more on your selling price. And basically that's based on getting 2.5% more on an average value home in Carson City, which is $250,000, which is 2.5% extra, which works out at around $6,000. And we wrote up a quick PDF with 12 tips that you can, as a seller, can implement that with your agent, gives you a good chance to get above market value for your home. And that's been really hugely successful. Actually, we've just been running it for the past couple of days, but we've already had 4. It's been liked numerous times, and he's already got a couple quality leads from it. But that's the same thing that you've got to do on your website. You've got to think of a lead magnet and have a pop-up. I know pop-ups are not popular, but you've got to implement them in the right way. But then you've got to have a really strong lead magnet, and having something like that's ideal. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, just be careful on the squeeze pages, landing pages kind of thing. Make sure that there's some value there for that, because you're going to get a lot of dummy emails and that kind of stuff, and that can be a little bit labor intensive. But I think it's a great idea to have those sort of things. I've used landing pages now probably for about 5 years, and they work. I mean, they got to have the right message. Some of the ones I've used don't work, so just be careful about what you're doing there. You can end up, somewhat upsetting people. I get upset when I go to a realtor's website and I go and try to search out a property, and then they want me to type in all this information. Okay, next I'm going to the next website. And then if that same landing page is on there, the same type of thing where they want all my information before I'm able to search on their website, then I'm going to Trulia. Right? So you just got to be a little careful about how you do that. Remember, the internet is for information. And that's why people go there. It's a billboard. And your website is part of that billboard. So, my thought on websites is have a bunch of testimonials on there. Have local interviews that you've done with restaurants, schools in particular, principals, teachers, city council people on future budget for a particular area or neighborhood or township or whatever. Those sort of things become resources. You almost have to become a news reporter. If you want to become a resource, you almost have to become a news reporter in the real estate field. And this is going to do two things. This is going to make you a better realtor because you're going to be more versed on your market. And you're also going to be viewed as a person of expertise, not just say it. I hear a lot of realtors say, I've been in the business 20 years. Well, if I'm a consumer, what does that mean? Explain to me how that's going to benefit me. What does that mean? Does that mean you get me a better price, a lower price, you negotiate the fees better? What does that mean? So you got to explain that on your website and have other people have testimonials to that effect. So if you've gotten a better price for somebody, we talked about this, Jonathan, film that, right? That's a testimonial for a video that you can then put on your website. And I tell you, if you get 10 of those on your website, that's a pretty powerful message.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, Jason. I actually also think having previous properties that you've sold and having describing the process, and especially if you sold the house very quickly, and also link that to a personal testimonial from the client and build a little story. It also has the benefit that Google, when it comes to local search, it's just added original evergreen content. And also it builds up your credibility because when people come to the website and they're a similar homeowner in a similar area or the same area, it just automatically suggests that you can get the same result as you get from that person. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that 100%. Use these opportunities that you have as your content. Don't try to overanalyze content. Your content is hitting us every single day. And that's a fantastic idea. Take, the situation that you've experienced in a listing and use that as your content and, put your spin on it and how you helped the consumer or the home buyer or home seller. And then other people can relate to that. And then you're going to get business from that. No question about it. And I will say this. One thing that I've noticed here over the past couple of years, and a lot of people, I don't know if you've read the Danger Report that's out there from the National Association of Realtors that came out, I think, a couple of years ago. One of the things that realtors need to be aware of is how relevant they are. And so there's a lot of pressure with technology right now on realtors, in that you have applications that are selling homes without the need of a realtor. You have applications that are finding homes without the need of a realtor. So you have to become relevant to that transaction. And no better way to become relevant than personalization. And so when you can add that personal touch to a situation, as I got the highest price for this consumer, here's how I did it, or I got negotiated the lowest price, or the appraisal came in low, and this is how I negotiated with the seller to bring the value, the purchase price down to match the appraisal. These are all things that I think that consumers can relate to very, very easily. And when you see that you're looking out for the consumer, the consumers are going to gravitate to that because everybody wants somebody on their side, especially in a large transaction such as home purchase, maybe the largest in their life. So adding that personal touch, I think, is huge in your credibility. And I think a website can really help with that.
Yeah. What I want to emphasize before I go to our break, folks, is that the look of the website does really matter. But having just an empty container with some property searches and not having all the things that we have discussed is not going to really do you a lot of benefit. But if you can avoid that and really develop what Jason said, a really local resource, I still think it can be really beneficial in your visibility and building your brand in the local area. So we're going to go for our break, folks, and we'll be back. And we're discussing what you should put on this website that you should definitely have, folks. Be back in a minute. But before we go, Jason, back to the live, I'm going to edit this now. Is the sound okay for you?
It sounds a little bit muffled on your end, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting terrible feedback. I was going to edit, but I think it's on my end, and hopefully the recording is going to be fine. Right?
Yeah, it sounds okay on my end. So.
Right, so let's put the yellow. We're going to start the live recording again. Well, we're coming back, folks. We're discussing this fascinating topic: what should go on your website. So, I think you also got a link here. To your social media outreach, you know, your paid advertisement on Facebook, whatever, your YouTube channel, and everything's got to be kind of like feeding back to your website. Would you agree with that, Jason?
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, you know, anytime I plug my website, right? Anytime I'm out, you're going to plug your website. So, yes, you want your social media and everything plugging back to your website. I do agree with that.
Yeah. So this gives some examples. I think what I've seen with a lot of really successful agents is they're written with video. They're actually like they're going to a restaurant or they're taking a shot of a local mall and they're saying something about the local area, and then they're doing a bit of a write-up as well, which satisfies Google. But then they can make material and put up a local channel about the area on YouTube. And I think combining video with some original written content, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone, because you could use that video on Facebook as well, can't you? What I'm trying to get across, is you try and provide content that you could use on multiple channels, basically. Would you agree with that, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to cross-pollinate your content on multiple social media. Like you said, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. I do that all the time. It's very effective. Just be a little careful. We've talked about before too. The message that you may want to send on Twitter may not be the same message or the same way on Facebook or on Instagram or Snapchat. So if you're going to use the content, just make sure that when you're promoting the content, it's not promoted the same way. You're going to have to mix that up just a little bit. But the content itself, absolutely, push that out there. I mean, you've got all these tools to throw it out there to get many people aware of it. Utilize it. Push it. 100% agree.
Another thing that agents we've done for agents that's worked quite well is it's really kind of going back to the basics of marketing. Is having some like having $100 gift card or having a television. And basically having a competition linked to Facebook and linked to your website, that can be very effective in the right circumstances, especially if you're gonna contribute a little bit to a local non-profit or something. That can be really effective. What basically all this is about is is trying to get yourself found by Google on a number of local search terms, and then driving a certain amount of traffic to your website. And if you don't do some pre-thought about this, you don't have to become an expert, you know, but if you've got a really popular school, or you've got a really popular restaurant, and you can do a little video with the owner, and so you can provide the video so you can use it on his own website, and then you do a bit of a write-up. As long as you put the right key, you know, if you're using WordPress, it's quite easy to put the right keywords in your titles. You will start getting traffic, won't you, Jason?
Yeah, and I don't want to get too much in. I don't know if we want to go into the SEO aspect of it, but you know, content. So one thing that I will tell you that I've used for my podcast, and this, I think this will help realtors quite a bit with content, is that number one, like I said, know your audience. So know who you're going after. Number two, research on, you know, there's plenty of blogs out there. Truly has a good blog out there. Inman.com has good articles out there. There are plenty of places that you can go, resources that you can go that are real estate related. Here in Arizona, we have the WP Carey School of Business. They have a real estate division. So your local university is a great resource for real estate information. Visit their webpage, and then what's going to happen is, at least I find this with myself, is I start reading these articles and I print them off. And you know, I've got, you know, Realtor, you know, magazine, whatever. I'll print these articles off, and then I start thinking, and it starts my own creativity as to what I feel is good content. And so it starts getting that creative juices going for you. So listen to your audience. Listen to get people started. I think a great content provider is ask your clients. Ask your clients when you're talking to them, what do you feel is the most stressful part of a real estate transaction before you even start with them? Or, you know, what are your expectations for a real estate transaction? And listen to what they have to say. Well, there's two pieces of content right there. And then you put your spin on it, and you provide that. These are the sort of things that become, you know, a resource thing for you. So, you know, this is the thing when I talk to realtors all the time. They're like, I don't know what to say. I asked them to be on the podcast. And Jonathan, you probably have the same kind of thing. You know, I asked them to be a part of the show, and they said, "Oh, yeah, I'd love to be on there, but what am I going to say?" And I sit there and ask myself, "What do you mean? You don't know what to say? You're a realtor. If you had a room full of 500 people, what would you tell them?" And some realtors freeze on that, and it can be a scary proposition. But we need to break out of that shell, and that's why I say we need to dumbify it. We need to bring it down. Sometimes when you're immersed in something, as we are on a daily basis, 24/7, right, 365 days a year, you kind of take some things for granted. It's like the period at the end of the sentence. And so we've got to pull ourselves away from that a little bit, listen to other people and their take on it. Because quite frankly, I saw an article just last week that I think it was like over 50% of renters believe now is a good time to purchase a home. And a third of those people believe that you need 20% or more to purchase a home, 20% down or more. Well, that's false information. That's completely erroneous. Now, we're in the industry. We know that that's not the case, but the vast majority of the public doesn't know that. So it's our duty to get that message out there. And that's part of that content.
I think that's a great point, actually. And also, I think Jason's really, and I've caught up with the show notes. I'll be putting that all in the show notes, and I'll be attempting to keep them up to date. So I'm going to put some of these resources and some other resources, the resources just mentioned, and I'll add. There is no shortage of websites easily access and do what Jason really said. Have a bit of a read when you've got a spare 10, 15 minutes, and bookmark them, print them out, and it's not that hard to write a couple short pieces.
No, it's very easy. And here's the other thing too, I will say, don't be afraid of conflict. Last week, Jonathan, we kind of agreed to disagree, right? You can do the same thing as a realtor. I hear some realtors say, well, Jason, that topic's already been, it's already been covered 9 times over, right? Who cares? You put your spin on it. And if there's some article out there that you disagree with, then write about it, talk about it. I do that all the time. I disagree with some of the stuff that I find on ASU's website here as far as real estate. They look at numbers, I look at emotion. And emotion is a big part of real estate transaction. So don't be afraid to disagree with things out there and give your own opinion, even if it's a topic that you feel has been kind of, covered quite extensively.
I really once again agree. And when it came to last week, I think in a way, I did come to an agreement in a way, because I think if you're not really going to commit yourself to provide content and really use your website as a local resource and do a little bit of planning and be active every month about providing content, I really don't think it is worth bothering with to some extent.
We agreed on that, sure.
Mail-Right, we provide a website as part of all our packages, but it's a website where we put the real estate agents' testimonials of their clients and about us page, and it's fully responsive. And we do that because it shows up on if somebody does a search for that agent with it's one of the websites that comes up, and it has all the positive reviews. I mean, we're going to be putting that out in the new year a little bit, because a lot of agents just doesn't feel that they have the time or need to do the things we've said. And if you're not, I don't think it's worth bothering with investing a lot of time and money. But on the other hand, Jason's a great fan of this, and Jimmy is a creator, and their package that they offer to their agents, the core of their package is a web solution that they provide.
Right.
And if you listen to recently any of Jimmy Watercooler podcasts, everything they do marketing-wide is around driving traffic to that website, and then getting some form of conversion, Jason. So I think we've given some good general advice here. Is there any kind of finishing statement you would like to make about it, Jonathan?
The only thing I would say is just be a little more aware of what's happening around you. Take the little things and look at those things, and that is your content. Don't blow things off. I find myself all the time. I used to, before I had my own podcast, and I needed to create my own content or find my own content. I would just kind of blow some things off. Now I take some of these little things and I look at them a little more deeply, or into them a little more deeply, and they actually could be potential content creators. So just be a little more acutely aware of what's happening around you in the industry, and I think you'll have just a plethora, for Latin, of content material.
Yeah, I just believe there's a shortage of topics that you can talk about. I think that was great, Jason. So to wrap up, how can people get hold of you and learn more about you, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. You can always reach me by visiting my webpage, www.valleyofthesunrealestateshow.com. Check out my podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, what else? TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. It's anywhere you can find a podcast. It's there. It's called Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show. And if you're looking to purchase or refinance a home in the state of Arizona, I certainly would love to earn your business or reach out to me about that.
That's great, Jason. If you get hold of me, just email me at jonathan@mail-com or go to the website. I'm quite active on Twitter. And join us next week, where we'll be talking about another topic and giving some insights about technology, online marketing, and trying to help you keep the fight going, folks. And we'll see you next week. Bye.